Hello. Okay. Haven't done this one for a while. In the new article from Bungie about the weapons preview, they're talking about Monte Carlo getting a new catalyst, right? So you can see shooting for 1,000. That's like normal base numbers, right? Looks like you have to get a melee kill to proc this. Maybe, I don't know. What's the damage number? 116 and 19. So you know what I did? I did some math, right? So what we got here. So using the data compendium that I use for pretty much everything, obviously I just did Titan numbers because that's what's important, realistically. Synthos, so we're not sure if this will be a normal, it will count as a uncharged melee, charged melee, or if it'll have buffed with Synthos or buffed with Synthos but the glaive buff, which is like really bad. So if it's a normal Synthos buff, it'll be 200%. If it is the glaive version, it'll be 50% increase. So still good. Whenever you're using Roaring Flames on top of Synthos steps, it goes down to 10%, 21%, 33%. If you are not using Synthos steps, it is a 33 or 20, 44, 73 right here in PvE. And so we can then go over to our numbers. So just the base Monte melee, that 116 that you saw, with Roaring Flames times 1, it goes up to 139k. Roaring 2, 167, 3, 200k. With glaive, gets even more stupid at 174, 185, 198, and 212. So even just here, if it's just the glaive buff, you're still hitting 200k a hit. Now this is a one and done kind of thing, so maybe it's intended. I don't know. But if it's with the normal Synthos buff, the 200%, it goes up to 348,000 base, and then 359, 372, 386. Really, really close to that 400k. Then you may think, oh, but what if I use offensive bulwark? That's good. So that's right here, 100%, same as knockout for arc. We'll knock them both out at the same time. Get it? So Monte melee, bulwark 232. With the glaive buff, it's 290. And then with the 200%, this is just like the Synthos base, like actual buff. Then it goes up to 464. Same with knockout, same numbers. Proc knockout is hit an enemy under 30% health. You can check that right here. Grants 100% increased base melee damage, 25% increased charge melee damage. So it depends what it is. Right there. So right below, oh, would you look at that? If it counts as a charge melee, here's your numbers of 145, 200, and 377, respectively. And then if you are just using Spark of Feedback is a 75% increase. And if you have knockout on top of it, it is a 40%. So it balances out. It's not super OP. Same with, it's like the Roaring Flames change, just like, yeah. But feedback goes away after one hit. That's the only constraint. So if you look right here, 75% increased melee damage for 5 seconds, buff consumed on hit and not refreshable. But then if you go down here, knockout, feedback, melee damage increase reduced to 40%. That's fine. So let's go ahead and crunch those numbers, and we have 203k, 261k, and 435k for the normal melee, the glaive buff melee versus the 200% Synthos buff melee, respectively. Then we get super stupid and do feedback plus knockout, which is that 1.4, just for those two. Just feedback and knockout together is 1.4 times. So you take the base melee times 2.4. That's your number. So the normal melee will do 278k. If it was the plus 50%, 336k. If it's the 200% Synthos, 510k. 500,000 damage in one melee. That's insane. And then if it wants to count the Monte Carlo melee as a charge melee, which is like your throwing hammer, your shoulder charge, that kind of stuff. That's what a charge melee is, if you didn't know. Then it will be respectively 131 or 191, 249, and 423. This is with no armor mods. This is just using Synthoceps, using Synthoceps, and using Monte Carlo and your subclass. That's crazy. I didn't even think about Strand. Like, I didn't include shadow damage. I didn't do any of that. That's all I got. I mean, looking at it, it is shaping up to be actually crazy. So, yeah. Peace.